In a related development, security forces destroyed a dugout bunker fortified with sandbags in Mongbang village of Jiribam. The bunker reportedly housed weapons including pistols, guns, grenades and ammunition rounds. The Manipur police have stated that the search operations are being conducted regularly in the fringe and vulnerable areas of the hills and the valley districts. In a separate incident, security forces recovered a locally made single barrel gun, an SLR magazine, live ammo and other items during the search operations in the Chanung and Zoulen villages in Imphal East district on Monday. Simultaneously, another important development has taken place. The 1,643-kilometer porous border, Myanmar and India, will be fenced at the cost of 31,000 crore. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Tuesday mentioned that 30 kilometers of the border had already been fenced, identifying it as a major factor behind the ethnic violence in Manipur. Around 10 kilometers of fencing near Meitei is complete, with work underway on 21-kilometer other parts of Manipur. The government has also scrapped the India-Myanmar free movement regime, which allowed residents near the border to travel up to 16 kilometers into each other territories without documentation, a policy that was part of the 2018 Act East initiative. On this, I am joined by Suhas Chakma. Suhas, it's pretty ironical. The Home Minister said that barring 3 days, the valley had been peaceful, and then you had this sort of a Jiribam violence. I really don't want to pin it as a point, but the fact of the matter, fact of the matter, it proves that the normalcy does not mean that you don't have firing. Normalcy would mean that when the valley and the hill areas will have no guns.
Well, I think, as politicians and as people who are responsible for administration of the country, they would like to reassure in this manner, but this has nothing to do with the reality. The reality is actually, till you can find some kind of a political settlement, nothing is going to stop this kind of violence, and it will continue to take place. I think the government of India has taken cognizance of this, that they are not in a position to restore the normalcy in the state. So that's why, they have started, or they have increased selling of basic essential commodities through these army canteens. And that shows the desperation that, even the normal business activities are not continuing. And if you look at the situation, for the last 1.5 years, this conflict has been continuing. And in the fringe areas, there are attacks, and Jiribam example you have given. So basically, in the last 1.5 years, people have not been able to engage in any kind of agricultural production activities. So their situation must have worsened, and it's extremely difficult for people to make their two ends meet. And the state or the central government, at the end of the day, still are not in a situation where they are talking about bringing some kind of settlement on the issue, or at least the leaders from both the communities to sit across the table. So I think it's an unfortunate situation.
But Mr. Chakma, is there an overemphasis on, I was just thinking, 31,000 crore for Indo-Myanmar border fencing. I was just thinking, if we can fence all our border, will it resolve issues? We have fenced a part of the Bangladesh border, but it hasn't resolved the issue even of cross-border movement of people. Even the LOC fencing which has happened hasn't resolved the issue. Do you think this sort of a fencing will resolve the issue?
Absolutely. Fencing will not resolve any of the issues. Fencing will only intensify the problems. It is actually failure to understand the relationship between the people. I think because Bangladesh is a Muslim majority country, you can have very strong law enforcement where people are killed along the border side. You do not expect that situation to arise in Manipur, or possibly, definitely not in Manipur, and in Nagaland, in Mizoram, or Arunachal Pradesh.